Chaos, like from Warhammer.
No, from Skylanders.
Oh,
The
gotcha.
better Chaos.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah. So have you brightened up yet? Are you in a better mood now that I'm here? I think you are. I think your day got exponentially better when I walked through your door.
We're going to talk about Bands of Mourning.
That's what I said that.
Yeah. Anyway,
So do you like Kaladin or Wax more?
you've asked me this like a million times outside of the podcast.
What's the standing right now?
I have no clue. I can't figure that out.
He can't decide.
The hard part is that there's more time with Kaladin than Wax, because I know that Lost Metal's going to end. Like, I've already read more of Kaladin than there is in total of Wax.
Sure, but still.
There's more time to develop Kaladin that way.
So you're saying you're speaking of this like there's no other choice then but to like Kaladin more, you know?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know which one I like more. I don't want to compare them.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Which one do you like more?
Which one? Kaladin.
Yeah.
But I love Wax.
Well, I do love Wax and I do love Kaladin, so that's kind of the hard part.
Yeah, I think I like Kaladin more, but I think I'm more similar to Wax than I am to Kaladin. Because Wax likes whiskey. Kaladin does not like to drink that much.
I don't know which one I'm more similar to.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
You're a healthy mix of both. If you took all of Wax's paranoia and combined it with all of Kaladin's depression, that would be you.
Wow.
Am I wrong?
I guess. I don't know.
You guess I'm wrong?
It's hard to read myself.
That's what you are.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Those are your only two traits. Paranoia
and depression. Well, that's comforting. It really, yeah. Okay. So, spoiler-free review.
Yeah. How did you like Bands of Mourning?
Compared
to the other two books.
Yeah, the other two so far. I'd say this one's my favorite, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say this one's probably my favorite out of the three, just because, like, I don't know. I think
this one's a lot more action-packed.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's more action-packed, and I think the story was like different.
Yeah.
Like the first two felt.
This one takes you out of the city a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think it also like expands Scadrial as a planet.
Oh, this one does a lot of good world building for sure.
So it's
something that Mistborn is. I mean, despite it having good world building, probably one of the features it was lacking the most.
I think it's lacking because you compare it to Stormlight more.
Oh, which has like the best world building.
But that's because those books are they're like half character, half world building.
But also, you know, like even the first trilogy of Mistborn just focuses on pretty much Luthadel.
Yeah.
You know, mainly. I mean, they do go to other cities, but like the world in the first trilogy does not seem that big.
No, it doesn't.
But I guess that's really because it's really not that big in the first trilogy.
No, it's not.
You know, there's only so much livable space on the planet itself.
Right. So by the time it getting kind of reset by the end, it's like,
so there's a lot more to explore in the Era 2 now.
In the Era 2. Yeah. So I think this one's my favorite out of the three, just because I think the villain is like good. I think it's expanding the power system and the world.
Oh, definitely expanding the power system. I mean, the power system is really good. Especially,
and then they up it.
I mean, especially in the first trilogy, right? Power system has already got its complexities,
right?
Already really good, you know, with the metals and all that. Then the beginning of Era 2, it gets even cooler with like the twin-born abilities.
Yeah.
And, you know, like some hemalurgy coming back
Yeah.
into play and things like that, right? So you already got a very complex system here.
And then they made
and then
it
in this
more,
book, it turns to a whole new level of fucking crazy.
right?
Where it's like, hey, let's put powers into into coins.
Yeah.
Or into devices.
Yes,
right?
so they're storing stuff now.
So it's like not even people born with certain abilities or giving people certain abilities through hemalurgy. It's like, no, let's create devices with these powers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
I know. Yeah. So, because I think what's interesting is you see the little, like, are we out of the spoiler-free review? I think this one's my favorite out of the 3 so far. I don't know if I'm going to like Lost Metal more or not, but we'll see.
I think you might.
Well, yeah.
I guess
we'll see. But anyway, back to the metal talk. I think it's interesting because you see a lot of the combos or like, I guess, little things that are very similar to other Cosmere series power systems. Because like the storing it in the metals is a little bit of a something from other things. Not completely.
Yeah. But the investiture, like the magic investiture, does tend to behave
like
on a baseline in similar ways.
Yeah.
Like across the
but it's
universe.
Interesting because I guess it's like it's more paid attention to. Like an aspect of it is more paid attention to based off the planet that it's on, I guess is a better way of putting it.
Okay.
Like Stormlight wise, you don't see them talking about the metals as much until later.
Very true.
Storing stuff feels very Stormlight-esque. So them talking about it in Mistborn is very interesting that they're like talking about it like that.
Yeah.
But it just, I think it's interesting because you can already see like the pieces kind of going to when he starts making everything connect. Like it's just, it's funny how like, I feel like I'm still in the prologue of the Cosmere aspect of everything.
It's just, oh yeah.
And I've got like, 4 books left before I'm caught up.
Yeah. No, it really does.
And
you put it pretty perfectly. It feels like the prologue of the Cosmere as a whole.
Right. Because, yeah, I mean, will he even answer all the questions by the end of it?
It's just one of the things I love about the way Brandon writes magic is that he writes it like a science.
Yeah.
Or at least people use it like a science, right? And there are scientific rules to the way investiture works.
Yes.
But then there's also the flip side of that where sometimes there's just magical ways that investiture works. Like intent is a strong part of investiture no matter what planet you're on, right? Like your intentions when you're using it.
Yes.
Like you need to, have some kind of enforce some kind of willpower
reason
over it to use it, right? Which is more of the baseline magic, but then there's other ways that it works very scientifically, like its influence on metals or in gemstones and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah, it gets like super,
and you can tell
crazy.
that he's going to really go crazy with that during the space age era of the Cosmere.
Oh yeah, because
we're gonna have like spaceships that are like hovering because of allomantic powers.
Yeah, we got like a little taste of it with this one
with the plane,
and so it makes me wonder. Like, I guess. It's clear what he's going to do with the space age with Bands of Mourning, right? Because you have that big aspect of it in it. But if he's going to do that possible 4th era in between 3 and 4 and what his plan for 4 was, what is the game plan what's going to like change the status quo of Allomancy and stuff like that for a cyberpunk era if he does that one. But at least for confirmed wise, what is he going to do for like 80s hacker era? Because that's what Ghost Bloods is supposed to be, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So what are you going to do?
Originally, the idea was like put together a team of, like he had teased that it was going to be a team of Allomancers put together to stop a Mistborn serial killer.
Okay.
Right. So that was his initial tease of the plot, at least for that first book.
Words of Brandon time.
Era. Yeah.
Okay.
So like
we'll approach that later.
But like that would be pretty fucking cool.
So what are you going to hack a computer from far away?
I don't know. Well, the main character, I believe he said, was supposed to be a Terrace Terrace-born, some kind of twin-born, right? But I believe he said their allomantic power was going to be, I think it's using nigrosyl, which allows them to, it's like duralumin, but they can use it on other people. So it allows them to burst the powers of other people instead of themselves, right? Okay. It's like a duralumin misting. That's useless. They burst the power inside themselves. That's the only power they have. It doesn't affect anything. Right. But a nigrosyl misting, I believe that's the metal, can burst the power in other people.
I don't have it memorized. It's a lot easier for me to memorize it.
16 fucking metals.
It's a lot easier for me to memorize it probably post me being done with everything. That's why I'm kind of like, I mean, I'm picking up on what I need to pick up when I need to pick up on it.
Sure. I mean, it's not easy. There's 16 metals, and a few of those are just variants of each other, you know, and
that's just Mistborn.
Yeah, that's just Mistborn. And then you have to think of all the 16 metals that Terrace used to store things, right?
Yes, so there's really...
And then the 16 metals used for hemalurgy.
So you've got, 16 times 3? So...
A lot of metals. A lot of shit. And not all the metals are similar, right? Like...
48.
Like what copper does for a fairing and for a misting is... different.
Yeah, so... And then on top of that, you got to double down on like the twin-born stuff. And then is there triple-born? If you do hemalurgy with it, I mean, it's not born.
I mean, I guess
it's not really born.
You wouldn't be born with it, but yeah, you would have another power if you got a spike while you were twin-born.
So yeah, there's some weird stuff, but there's also some, I think, additional weird stuff that changes the status quo with this one, in the fact that there's like a whole southern tribe of people.
Yeah. There's a whole southern continent, which is crazy to think that at the time of Era 1,
it was really just,
I mean,
the couple like kingdom areas like Luthadel and...
Well, I mean, at the time of Era 1, there was still a southern and a... Life only existed on the poles, right? So there was a southern tribe during Era 1, but nobody ever would have known about it because how would you ever get there?
Yeah.
Right? You would have had to go through a whole planet worth of ash mounts and volcanoes, which nobody could have lived through, right?
Right.
But now that, you know, Harmony reforged the world.
Yeah.
And I also think it's kind of crazy that they kind of talk about it in this book too, is when Harmony reforged the world, their pole no longer was a paradise. Because when he reforged it correctly based on the knowledge from all of his religions, right? And so he turned the pole back into a South Pole, right? So it all turned to snow and cold and ice and like glaciers and shit, and kind of fucked them up a little bit. And then he kept Elendel as this kind of paradise.
Right.
Which is kind of funny.
A little biased.
Yeah, a little biased, but you know, I guess
I think that's kind of the point that we're kind of talking about, that these books are kind of talking about, that he's possibly a little biased.
He's definitely not perfect.
He's not perfect.
I mean, yeah.
Which I think works really well. Because he kind of just had to take it to save the world. So it's like, well, what do I fucking do with this?
And the revelation at the end of this book too. We're kind of talking about this book all out of order, but
a little bit.
I think we should just keep talking about it all out of order.
Okay.
At this point, Wax dies.
Wax does die,
and he has a talk with Harmony when he dies, and Harmony kind of shows him something. What do you think of that?
I actually forgot what it was.
You forgot what it was? So like him and Harmony have their like talk.
Yes.
Right. But then Harmony shows him like they're like in space, like talking, right? Like,
yes.
Like in the solar system, and Harmony shows him this huge red like cloud in their system that is like slowly approaching
Scadrial,
right? Like this huge, just red, I
wonder who that is,
cloud, right? And like,
oh, sorry,
and Wax
Galactus from Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Wax asks him, he's like, "What the hell is that?" And Harmony's like, "I don't know."
Oh,
he's like, "I don't know what that is."
Well, I don't have my tinfoil hat.
Damn, should have gotten it.
But
that's like a huge moment. It's been a while since
it's been a while
since he's read this book, guys.
Yeah. So much has happened.
He's read through almost 900 pages. Oh wait, like
I'm 75% done with Rhythm of War at time.
You read this book before Oathbringer?
No.
Okay.
After.
Okay, that's good. For a second I thought you read through 2 Stormlight books.
We filmed
after you read this.
We filmed these so out of order, so we also had I had to talk about Oathbringer stuff. So, but with this, we'll be back on track in terms of right. I'll be able to recall stuff way quicker. It's kind of funny because
you've read close to maybe 900 pages of Stormlight, and now you're trying to talk about this book you read right before all that.
Yeah. So you can't fault me for forgetting that. But at least tinfoil hat wise, I heard somewhere that Wax and Wayne is supposed to chronologically take place post Wind and Truth.
I've heard that they're similar timelines. The thing is, chronologically, I think Era 2 is supposed to take place relatively close to where we are in Stormlight. Yeah.
First half.
Correct.
Which is why I sit there and go, is it Odium from Stormlight, and they defeat him, they cast him off Roshar, but that just means he transfers somewhere else. Will we get Evil Sazed?
Evil Sazed would be great. Well, remember, Savid's already... He's half preservation, half ruin.
Super evil Sazed.
I saw somebody... that's more of a Stormlight discussion, right? Talking about Odium.
I guess, yes.
But there is a real problem going on with Sazed where he talks to Wax in that same scene where he's it's hard for him to do things because he is constantly at war with the 2 halves of the shards in him, right? He's able to control them, but it's hard for him to act on things, because ruin and preservation are constantly
you can't have that, each other. You can't have that gut reaction because it's the minute you have a gut reaction in the good way, the bad way is going to be well, hold on.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's hard for him to, do actions to really influence things.
Yeah.
That's why he's so reliant on Wax as his sword, to...
So I wonder if Wax is going to last longer, or if somebody else is going to be the sword.
Who knows, man?
It makes sense as to that's why Marsh is still kind of around.
Either way, it harkens back to the thing with Harmony's not perfect,
right?
He has got. There's definitely some issues there with Harmony. Despite how powerful he is, wielding 2 shards, they are constantly at war with one another. So
because he can't even keep the Kandra in check.
Yeah,
really. Seeing as how Milan's banging Wayne.
Yeah. I forgot that Milan and Wayne bang in this book.
Yeah, because...
Don't they do it on the train during that gunfight?
The whole gunfight's going down, and I'm sitting there the whole time God. Where the hell is Milan and Wayne?
I totally fucking forgot about that.
It's a solid 4 chapters, and it's where are they?
They're just gone.
And they're just banging in the closet.
They've been banging away.
And it's
and
just
they were weren't they didn't you hear the gunfire? And Wayne was just it was really loud in there,
Dude.
I totally forgot about that. Oh my God.
It's just funny because Marcy is now so uncomfortable around him and Milan. And it's very funny.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, Marcy gets a nice upgrade in this book too.
She does.
With the grenade.
Yeah.
Very cool way for her to use her powers.
Yes, an interesting grenade that I think will come back up in the next podcast.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more in detail, considering it wiped out. It stopped their almantic powers.
Well, there was... So the grenade she got allows people to put their almantic abilities... into it.
Yes, but the original way that it was used,
right? So I believe a leecher.
A leecher, yeah.
Yeah. So put his allomancy into it, and it wiped out the allomancy in the area. Kind of cool.
It'll probably come up again, in the next podcast, the Rhythm of War podcast.
Yes.
But yes, I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, it's just cool to see technology involve in a way, especially in ways that are we have a way to just erase the investiture in your body.
We have the technology.
Yeah. So it'll be weapons like that are developing on all sorts of planets. At least 2 that you know of.
Yeah, I mean, the only like technologically advanced ones, it seems like.
Yeah, well, there are other technologically advanced planets out there. We just haven't seen too much of them.
Okay.
You'll learn more about that, I guess, in probably the next book.
Oh.
Not Stormlight book.
Sunlit Man. Or Lost
Man.
Well,
Sunlit Man is
the other three I have
is a
left
future book, right? So, like,
yeah,
a lot of planets are advanced, but Lost Metal.
They
talk a little bit more about that sort of thing.
Interesting. Yes, and Steris does more stuff in this book.
Oh, I love Steris in this book.
Steris is really cool in this book.
She's good in the first 2 books. She's great in this book.
She's really not anything in the first 2 books, to be honest.
Yeah.
She's kind of just there.
But she's great.
She's great in this book.
Her own character, finally.
Yes.
In this book.
Yeah, and I'm happy that, like, they actually kind of care about each other.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad that their romance actually develops in this book. Like, they legitimately I mean, she was already kind of crushing on him after he saved her, right? But then he really does grow to care about her. Right. In this book. Yeah. Yeah, and love her. So it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Because Wax definitely deserves that.
I think so.
They both deserve it, but Wax has been through enough shit.
I think he's been through enough, yeah. Yeah, and then I guess Wayne deserves Milan.
They deserve each other.
Because she's crazy.
They're both crazy.
Well.
They're both crazy.
They are.
Yeah.
And then, big deal. Wax's sister's back.
Oh, she is. Good news. They found his sister. Yay. Family reunited.
Until.
Oh, right.
Well, it was family reunion.
And then, oh, wait, she's evil.
So can I just say that, and he called this before the podcast started. Yeah, I was going to say that it's like fucking Indiana Jones. It's like Indiana Jones. Blah, blah, blah. Because Brandon literally stole scenes from Indiana Jones.
He kind of did.
He did. Like, seriously, the entire second half is, or this, like, when they get to the temple, is literally The Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Oh, and not the love interest, but conveniently somebody close.
Yeah, somebody close to him.
Traitor.
Becomes a traitor. Yeah.
Just, it's funny. I mean, you could even probably argue that the party scene where they're at like the party is like kind of like Temple of Doom.
Yeah, you could. I mean,
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it's Indiana Jones with Mistborn powers.
That's why I like it.
Cool as hell.
I'm not going to complain.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
Like, imagine if Indy was pushing people's guns out of their hands and shit.
Yeah, because he doesn't like using guns. I don't think.
No.
I mean, I think he's used guns, but I don't think he likes using guns.
Indy, either way, he typically doesn't use them.
Even though there's like the iconic scene of like him with the dude with the scimitar, and then he shoots him.
It's probably more the fact that he just constantly finds himself without a gun, and so that he has to make do without one. You know, because either he loses it or he falls out of a plane and doesn't. So there's just so many scenarios where he loses a gun or does not have one. So he just has to.
Like, thinking about it, it's kind of funny how, like, you think that Harrison Ford is just this, like, gruff, like, all the time. But he's really good at being, like, a little Looney Tunes character when Indiana Jones loses a gun, which is why, don't call me out in the comments, but I'm sure a lot of people agree with me. The Dial of Destiny is shit, by the way.
Oh, I haven't seen Dial of Destiny.
It's awful. So. It's the worst.
But in those older movies, some of his facial expressions remind me of...
But he doesn't do that in that one.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't.
Lame.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Bands of Mourning.
Yeah, back to Bands.
Before
it's
I
like
rant
Indiana
about
Jones. That's why Cullen likes it so much.
Well, yeah, because Indiana Jones is good.
I know.
Until Dial of Destiny.
Okay, we get it.
It's bad.
Back to Bands.
So
you were talking about his sister.
Okay.
Before you rambled.
His sister. How's your sister?
Wayne shot his sister.
Wayne did shoot his sister like multiple times.
Yeah.
She's still alive.
She's still alive. Well, because he kind of mentions that like he
couldn't like do it all the way.
Yeah, he didn't want to, like he couldn't bring himself to killing her because it's still Wax's sister.
Because his uncle and his sister get like all these hemorrhagic spikes.
Yeah.
So they can do all these fancy things.
Uh-huh.
And you're like,
well, one of them can still do a lot of fancy things. The other one is not
doing so hot.
Doing so hot.
Yes, his uncle is
His uncle's gone.
His uncle is gone.
His uncle is big dead.
Yeah.
His uncle got eviscerated.
Oh yeah.
Someone shows up to visit his uncle.
Yes.
And that someone has red eyes. Interesting red eyes.
Who typically has red eyes?
People whose souls have been corrupted.
By what?
By someone.
Maybe somebody that could be in that big cloud like I was talking about.
Who knows, man?
That's what I'm saying.
Who knows?
Is Odium invading Scadrial?
Well, he'd have to get off Roshar first.
We got a whole Stormlight book post Rhythm of War.
Yeah, as of right now, he's still contained to Roshar.
Scadrial and Roshar
as you know.
Well, I would think by the end of Wind and Truth, he's out of here. They're just going to ping pong him back and forth between the planets.
You never know. It would be bad.
It would be bad.
It would be bad. Would not be good.
So we don't have an answer to why, who that red-eyed person is, do we?
I mean, I'm sure there's some speculation.
That it's Odium?
I mean, as far as I know, most people get the glowing red eyes. I don't know if it's an Odium specific thing. Like if your soul has been corrupted, glowing red eyes are a kind of like a tell to them, right? And corrupted,
because like all the partiality.
Corrupted being like a substitute for influenced by a shard, I guess, right?
Okay.
Taken over by a shard. So like the fused, the regals, especially the fused, have the red eyes.
Yeah. Because
their souls have been corrupted, quote unquote, by Odium, right? So I don't think he's the only shard that could affect them in that way. Like I think other shards could corrupt souls and they would have glowing red eyes in a similar manner. Yeah, I don't remember the scene 2 specifically, so I don't remember the descriptors for that character.
Right.
And then it has been a second since I've read Lost Metal, as
so
well.
If there's any,
so I don't remember
if
if there's a callback or something in Lost Metal that mentions who specifically got rid of the uncle. But I mean, you'll read it soon enough.
Yes,
so
I will. That's the next one after the one I'm currently reading.
Yeah, we can talk about it then.
But yeah.
But his sister being the big bad, like
his sister being the big bad is
like even like his sister really being the one that was behind everything.
Yeah,
even his uncle is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah, and it's not a bad twist, and I'm interested to kind of see how that kind of rounds out. I would think with Lost Metal, I would think.
Yeah.
No face.
What do you mean no face?
Okay.
I can't make faces for everything you say.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
But I assume that she's whatever. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be an interesting, it'll be interesting.
Okay.
What's her goal? What's her plan?
I don't know.
What's her plot?
I mean, I do know. I'm not going to tell you though.
Well, she really wanted those bands of mourning, which were the Lord Rulers, apparently.
But who the fuck wouldn't want the bands of mourning?
Which were the Lord Rulers, apparently. Yeah, Lord Rulers, apparently.
Yeah.
Weren't those the ones that, like, didn't Vin, like, rip them out of him?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, to be fair, she did have the power she used the power of preservation to do that.
Right.
So, which is not something someone
she
normally
still ripped them out of his body.
Do. I don't know. Were they actually infused into his body, or were they just around his arms? Because I know that metal mines themselves act like metal inside someone's body, right? Because if you have metal inside your body, it's hard for somebody to pull on it, right, or influence it. And then metal mines from ferrochemists act in the same way. So, like, if a ferrochemist had a ring on
in the body,
or just if a ferrochemist was wearing a ring, like a allomancer would have a very hard time pushing or pulling on that, just because
I don't remember.
It acts like a part of their body, because they're storing investiture in it.
I don't remember if it was in. Like, at least
that's
when
why
I
can't
imagine
remember
him,
in the
though,
Lord Ruler's case. I cannot remember because. I mean, he had both, obviously, he had allomantic and ferrochemical abilities.
When I imagine him as like kind of, he's got it in his body because it's like more. I mean, it's creepier cool.
It's
that way.
It's also more Vin to like rip the metal out of somebody's body. That's a much more Vin thing to do.
But why would Seiza just kind of leave those hanging around?
I don't know. Again, maybe Sazed wasn't the one who got a hold of those.
Oh, that's right. Because they weren't there.
Right? Because there's also somebody that the Malwish, the southern continent, are called the Malwish. There's someone they worship.
Yes, they worship a man with one spike in his eyeball.
Man with one spike.
Which last time I saw him,
something all around his arms.
Yes, some nice scars, which we saw the POV of because Wax picked up like some coin or something at in the epilogue or something.
Oh,
after banging Steris.
Yeah, yeah. Lots of banging in this one.
There was a lot of banging in this one.
Yeah.
Warbreaker and Bands of Mourning, the most
sexual of all the Brandon Sanderson books.
Well, I have to. Okay,
that you know of.
Well, I have to talk about like one line that was brought up in Rhythm of War before I forget about it.
Okay.
Shallan has a line where she talks about Adolin and she talks about like how she loves like talking about stuff when she's done with him. Those are the exact words.
Oh, I actually remember that specific scene that you're talking about.
And it's like, good God.
Yeah. No, Shallan is, I mean, yeah.
What the hell, dude?
Shallan doesn't play.
Apparently. But yes. Oh my gosh, Kelsey, you're still alive. What?
Oh my gosh,
That's
you didn't
crazy.
know that because you definitely didn't read Secret History before this.
But I didn't know that he was physically alive. It seems.
Well, possibly. Yeah. So now I
didn't know he was physically.
Well, because
I thought he was just a spirit realm,
right,
or a cognitive, whatever.
Now, at least you're aware. Like at some point,
he got
a body,
which is exactly why he was probably talking to Spook about the hemorrhagic spikes because he has one in his eyeball.
Probably wanted to fuse his soul to a body or something like that.
So what has he been doing? What is he gonna do?
Who knows what Kelsey's up to? That's the thing, right? He's the survivor.
He's just a silly guy.
Got so many secrets.
He's got so many religions worshiping him.
Who knows what he could be doing?
That could go bad or good.
Never know.
I don't know. Man. I feel like it would lean a little bit more towards the Paul Atreides realm.
Man, this is fun.
I feel like it would.
I mean, Kelsier is just one of those people. Yeah, he's just one of those people. You never know what he's going to do for the good of Scadrial.
Right? It's not really good. Okay.
He'll do crazy shit for the good of Scadrial.
I saw a fan cast for Mistborn people. At least the ones off the top of my head of people that I like actually know of. And, well, I'll say the Kelsier one and the Sazed one. Because one I think is really good.
Okay.
And one I think is iffy.
Okay. Well, let's hear them.
So Kelsier, Anthony Starr.
Oh, okay.
Which I think would be really good.
I do think it would be good. I just wish I could see Anthony Starr
in anything other than Psychotic.
In more things than
Homelander.
In more roles than just Homelander. Because while I think he's absolutely amazing as Homelander,
but I think that's because,
and I can see the Kelsier isms in Homelander. Like I need to see him in other roles,
right?
But I think he could do it
because I think he plays that role so well.
Yeah,
it's
just
like
been his role for so long.
So I wonder, but that would be actually a good one. I feel like.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to them casting him as
Kelsier. And then Danny Pudi for Sazed.
Who's that?
Abed from Community.
Oh my God.
Which I'm like, I don't know, dude.
I can't see him as anything other than Abed from Community.
But not, it's more, he's too goofy, I feel.
Like he's just so goofy.
I can't see him being so serious.
Like anything I see. Oh my God.
Well, anytime I see him, I think
maybe
of like
that could be one of those surprise picks where it's like, holy shit, he actually
does a pretty good job.
He actually does a good job.
Yeah, maybe.
But also, I do see Sazed on the leaner side of things, like the skinnier side of things.
Yeah.
I see him as more like lean, like muscular but lean, not necessarily like super skinny.
Super skinny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen Danny Pudi in a long time.
How tall is Danny Pudi? Because I imagine Sazed to be pretty tall as well.
I have no clue. I would think he's on the shorter side because I think he's shorter than
because him and Donald Glover are
because he's shorter than Joel McHale in Community, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think Joel McHale is the tallest one I guess Danny Pudi is tall because Allison Brie, Yvette Nicole Brown, like all the girls
they're
shorter, and Chevy Chase is I think shorter too.
Mm-hmm. I don't know,
and it's hard to gauge.
Let's get a Chevy Chase in there as as Kelsier.
No,
Chevy Chase is the Lord Ruler.
No, actually, the fan cast put Riz Ahmed
as who?
The Lord Ruler.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they casted like Warbreaker, Stormlight, and Mistborn, and Mistborn was like the only one that I was like, okay. The Stormlight one was awful.
It's just, I bet, as soon as
because I don't think people realize that. Yeah, I mean, you've told me that the Alethi are based off Mongolians.
Yeah, the Alethi are supposed to be.
So they're more darker skinned.
Yeah, darker skinned, like
right.
Not black, but very tan, like very, very tan.
And then also Kaladin, Adolin, and Shallan are like early 20s. Late teens, early 20s, yes.
Shallan, I believe, is 19
in rhythm.
Kaladin is early 20s. And
so is Adolin.
Adolin is close to mid-20s.
But I think he's still in that early area.
Yeah, like he's like 24, 25.
So, yeah. You want to know who they put for Adolin?
Yeah.
Stephen Yeun.
Stephen Yeun?
Yes.
Why? Every Stormlight fan cast I see is not good.
You want to know who they put for Kaladin?
Tell me.
Oh, crap. Why did I forget his name? Dev Patel.
Dev Patel?
Yes.
As Kaladin?
They're both like Dev Patel's 34. And Stephen Yeun's like 40.
Like, I think most of like 95% of the Cosmere should be unknowns.
Oh, and then
I really just think it should be
Shallan
people
was Sadie Sink.
Yeah.
So you want Stephen Yeun, 40-year-old with Sadie Sink?
There's so many of the Cosmere characters are young. You know, just super young.
Yes.
Like in everything. Like Era 2, Mistborn Era 2 is the first time where we have relatively middle-aged, older, like
that's like a main, like the
main characters.
What's it called?
Right? Because I mean, Dalinar and Navani, they're main characters, but they are also like, you know,
Yasna, I think, is the only other exception.
Yeah, Yasna's like 34-ish.
You know what? The Yasna pick was pretty good.
Yeah,
but I don't know her ethnicity, but it was, I think it was Elektra from Netflix Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that one could be good.
I could see her as a good Yasna.
I could see that one. Yeah. She's like got that air to her with Elektra from Netflix Daredevil. I could see that. But
I guess the only other thing is I imagine Yasna's. I guess I don't know if it's just the way Yasna acts all the time that makes me think she's really tall.
No, I'm pretty sure she's pretty tall.
Yeah, I mean the Alethi are also just taller, you know. So, like Kaladin's like 6'4".
But freaking Stephen Yeun as Adolin, no. I can't. Also, with the hair color that like him and Renarin have.
They're supposed to be like blonde with specks of.
Can you imagine Stephen Yeun with that haircut?
No, I don't want to.
Yeah. No, who would you fan cast for Wax then?
Like I said, I think most. I wouldn't want to know.
No, I think you could get away with a known for Wax because he's older.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know.
Henry Cavill
is Wax.
He's gruff.
Yeah, he is gruff. Maybe.
John Krasinski.
I don't know.
Oh, damn. You know what? You love
Wax
this one.
Just has an old man energy about him.
I should tell you who they picked for Light Song.
Oh, who would they pick for Light Song?
Do you want to take a guess?
I have no idea.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
Mario? Garfield himself?
Yes, Garfield himself.
Light Song?
For Light Song, yeah.
No, these people will never learn. Light Song is supposed to look 20, 24. Like all the lifeless, or not all the returned, are supposed to look in the prime of their life, which is like 25.
It's very silly.
Right?
Anyway, who would you cast for Wax? And who would we cast for Wayne?
I don't know.
If you had to pick somebody known, right? You're casting director, and it's like because here's the thing. I think casting directors tend to go for even with the unknowns, they go for a insert person type. you can still throw out like a Henry Cavill type, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might not be Henry Cavill, but it's Henry Cavill-esque. That person is. So
who would you pick
for Wax?
Yeah. See, it's harder than it sounds, isn't it?
I don't know why
Wax has just such distinct features.
He does, because he's got more of like a Wayne-wise though.
Wayne, you can just pick any silly motherfucker you want.
Well, there's a lot of silly motherfuckers out there. So who would we pick?
I don't know. It's harder than it sounds. It's harder when you're the one being asked.
It is. Why is this so hard?
See?
For Wayne?
We'll come back next episode with our entire fan cast for every character in the Cosmere. That would be a good
episode.
One episode where we just each do our fan cast.
We each do a fan cast.
But for the entire Cosmere.
For as many characters as we can come up with.
Oh my God.
Oh, you know what? They picked Kamal Nanjiani for Lopin. I'm like, dude. No.
That's funny though.
You know it'd be a good Sabarial?
Who?
Fluffy.
Fluffy is Sabarial?
Yes.
He's just... Sabarial at least takes himself a little serious. But Sabarial's like got that gruff humor, you know? Like he's got that very old man, like he doesn't care about anything humor. And that's what like makes him silly.
Mm-hmm.
Fluffy's a goofball.
He can be gruff.
Can he?
I don't know.
No, Fluffy does his high-pitched lady voices. And then
that's my favorite
anyone
bit.
Who does that, I can't picture Sabarial. You know?
Yeah, I guess
like
true.
That's the thing. Like it, yeah.
Anyway, back to Bands of Mourning. It's crazy. Yeah. Kelsier is physically around.
Yeah.
So what is he up to? What is he doing? What is he plotting? What is he planning? Has he hung out with his bro? Has he been like, dude, these ice spike things suck?
Like to Sazin?
No, with Marsh, his actual brother.
His actual brother.
He's like, damn, how do you live like this?
That's fucked. I thought you were like him talking to Sazin, be like, yo, you're God. Can you do something about this?
No, he already did talk
dude.
To Sazin about it.
Like, my brain has been growing around this spike.
No, he's talked about Sazin about that. But I'm wondering if he's met up with Marsh and is like sitting there like, dude, how do you live like this?
Who knows?
This sucks.
If you think about it, they haven't interacted since book one.
That we know of.
They have not reunited since book one.
That's true, because he wasn't even there when Kelsier died, I think.
No.
He was hanging out getting his eyes
he was taken at that point, I'm pretty sure.
Bink, bink.
I thought he was dead.
God, man. I just need to see some live action Inquisitors because they're like
the scariest fucking things ever.
Well, because I love, at the time of recording this, the Mistborn deck building game actually got stuff.
I'm actually so
and
hyped.
It's crazy because I imagine the spikes being way bigger than I think they actually are, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
They're like more like those lawn spikes for like all those like dart games or stuff like that.
But I mean, there's still long ass spikes protruding into the back of your head.
Yeah, through your eyeballs. Yeah, I know. It's pretty screwed up. But like seeing the artwork on the cards. And I am happy that game is not a trading card game.
Me too. I didn't think they would do it.
I think it would be a lot easier for them to do an expansion or just the game again, but different for Wax and Wayne.
I didn't think they would do a trading card version.
Yeah, because then they'll do Wax, Wayne, Miles, and somebody else. I would think it would have to be another Twinborn in order to make a 4 because you play as a character in it.
Oh, they could do Wax, Wayne, Miles.
They need a lady.
Because
there's no.
They could always do Wax's sister.
Is she a Twinborn though?
She's got spikes. It's good enough.
That's cheating, bro.
How's it cheating?
It is kind of cheating. You have to say that is kind of cheating. I mean,
Kelsier
did cheat death. Like that one. Well, I guess that wasn't hemorrhagy, but he came back to life through it, so it was cheating.
I mean, it was kind of cheating, but like he had the power of the Lord Ruler. So it's like, and he wasn't dead yet, to be fair. Like he was dying and he was only able to talk with Sazids for so long because of, again, like the more highly invested you are, the slower you die.
Yeah.
Right. So like the more investiture, and he's a twin born, so he's going to be highly invested.
Yeah.
And so it's like he was dying. And like if you were on the brink of death and then you got the power of the Lord Ruler, like, yeah, you would stop dying. You would come back to life, not come back to life, but you would heal yourself. That's kind of what he did.
Can we talk about how creepy it was with, what's his name? What's the one Southern tribe guy?
Alec.
Yeah. But it's spelled the most fucking random.
Malwish guy.
Yeah, the Malwish guy and all the masks.
Oh, yeah, their culture of
mask wearing.
Masks. Yeah, mask wearing.
Mask wearing people.
You think it's creepy?
A little. Well, that scene was creepy.
What scene specifically?
When they find him in the cage and then they find the room covered in blood and the masks are all hanging up on the wall.
Yeah. Well, it's because they killed all of his...
Yeah, I know. It's still creepy. Like, I'm getting fucked. Like little Saw...
Well, I mean,
feeling.
Remember where we started in Era 1. Like, Mistborn was supposed to be Brandon Sanderson's version of a grimdark fantasy.
I guess.
So, like, he still likes to throw in those elements where it's like, holy shit, that's just freaked up.
Well, you know what I'm going to say?
What are you going to say?
Well, I mean, if that's just so creepy, Brandon knows how to write creepy stuff.
Oh, God.
So
it's going to be every episode.
I just can't wait for whenever the Night Brigade book comes out.
Oh, my gosh.
You were thinking it.
Yeah. I do need a Threnody novel. I need it now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why not? Just do it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we talk about?
The shades have red eyes.
Oh.
Well, they have green eyes and then their eyes turn red when they get mad.
Yeah, but they're not... Brandon can't let those things get off that planet. That'd be a problem. Oh.
What were we talking about before? The Threnody stuff?
Don't the Sleepless have red eyes?
The Sleepless? Oh, maybe. I don't know. The Sleepless are weird. The Sleepless are... They're like a different race, though.
But
they're like a whole different race of creature.
Over a shade being the one that killed Ed Warren.
I don't think it would be a shade that would have killed Ed Warren, though.
No, I think it was a...
Oh, you think it was a Sleepless?
Yeah, it could have been a Sleepless.
Definitely could have been Sleepless.
Maybe a Ghostblood Sleepless.
Maybe. You think the Ghostbloods had him killed? I believe it.
They crazy.
They crazy as shit.
I love the Ghostbloods because it would make sense. Maybe that's well.
Any other further thoughts on the Ghostbloods? Who do you think? What do you think's going on there?
Ghostblood wise?
Yeah. Who do you think's behind all that?
The Ghostbloods?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You think you have any idea? You think you haven't?
Is that more of a Stormlight question?
I think it's a blended question.
Well, I guess because Mistborn Era 3 is Ghostbloods. That's why I say that, because it would make sense as to why he's already planting a little bit of seeds of Ghostbloods, because you would think that that's going to be big Ghostblood territory for that next era. Who's the head of the Ghostbloods, though? It's probably one of the Shards, honestly.
I think it's Shard. Okay.
I would think so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're a big organization, so it would make sense for sure. Especially because their influence
goes like out interplanetary? No, outer planetary. Planetary wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of their members just seem to know
a lot of stuff.
A lot of shit.
And a lot of the members tend to have
at least Murray's really likes to imply that to Shallan, that he knows like so much more than she could hope to.
Yeah, he's such a fucking asshole.
He is an asshole.
I love him.
But either way, yeah. Ghostbloods.
I wonder if...
Very cool.
So I wonder, is Wax's sister part of the Ghostbloods?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you don't?
I mean, I do.
Oh, you do know?
Well, yeah, I know more than you. It's like I'm a Ghostblood and you're just some little...
You got the tattoo?
Rosharan.
You got the tattoo?
I will soon. Oh. I got the appointment scheduled next Tuesday.
You sound like Shallan.
Yeah.
Vale. Yeah, I'll get it eventually.
I sound like Vale.
Oh, yes, Vale. God, man, I gotta balance all that shit. Sorry. Yeah. Bands of Mourning was really good. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of anything else that was like crazy that
insane technology that just lets them put their powers into objects.
And the fact that they made, like the metal ship.
Yeah.
Creating
metal
language.
creating ships that can just hover in the air, creating spaceships that can do that shit.
Store language and heat. It makes you wonder if it's something related to like kind of the gemstones in Stormlight.
They act in similar ways for sure.
Because you can store heat in the fabrials.
Yeah. Navani has Navani created like heating fabrials and there's pain rails, that.
So why wouldn't there be language reels?
What?
Language reels.
What reels?
Language reels.
I don't. Maybe.
Why wouldn't you be able to?
I mean, I don't. It's just
like you say like all the big name words like hello, goodbye, thank you, you're welcome, and like a couple other more necessary words.
I just don't. I just don't know what kind of spren. Like I'm sure you could. I just don't know what kind of spren you'd need to.
Oh, obviously a language spren.
Obvious. Well, maybe a language spren.
Why wouldn't there be a language spren?
There could be a language spren.
You would think
linguistic spren.
Wouldn't that be part of? That would go under the umbrella that is cultivation.
Language spren. Yeah, I don't know. Well, because there's only so many intelligence spren, and then the rest of the spren are just.
So how are they storing the language in the metals?
Animals.
There's no spread on.
No, but they're doing it through their powers and the way because they can store their investiture in metals through ferrochemy,
as opposed to
spren that can be captured in gemstones.
Yeah,
so it's just like the way the investiture works on their planet. Same principle, different iterations of the power. It's kind of the similar applications. Just it was formed in different ways, but it can be used in similar ways, I guess.
Okay,
but then there are they each have their specific niche, like the way, Roshar is very focused on gemstones and Scadrial is very focused on metals. So, like the pushing and pulling in metals and, all that jazz. And
this is going to be weird because I'm almost caught up. Like next,
you're getting closer and once you're done with Rhythm of War, it's really, you're going to fucking speed through the rest of these books.
After the next Lost Metal, after the next Mistborn book, we can actually both go what our thoughts are for what the next Mistborn era probably is.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't wait to have full-blown conversations with you about all the different ways that I understand investiture and the way it works, and then we can really get into deep conversations about how could this be applied?
I care
what
more.
Could they do with this?
Luke cares more about power systems and stuff because he's a nerd about that stuff.
That's true.
I care more about
the
where
science,
is this going?
The science of investiture.
I care more about fate-wise. Where is this going?
Well, I care about that too.
Yes, but you care more about the.
But I think
more interesting.
A big part of the universe also is the science of investiture and
life,
it's almost like an arms race. In a way,
between
planets to see who can develop more powerful weapons with the science of investiture.
Well, and I think that's the interesting part because again, that was the big thing at the end of Six of Dusk was those people that showed up with the technology, and it was holy shit! They're not they're not showing up to steal anything. They're showing up to make us skip ahead.
Well, because they want that planet's special resource, which is the birds, right?
Or the worms and the birds,
right? The worms and the birds, but the birds that can either sense things or, show the future or hide you from.
So I guess we'll find out in Isles of the Emberdark.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out.
Because you said that Isles of the Emberdark's prologue is Six of Dusk.
I believe so. I believe that's what Brandon said. It's going to be good. By Rhythm of War, by the time you're done with that.
You keep on hyping this up.
But what I'm saying is, by the time you're done with Rhythm of War, we will really be able to, and then again, once you're done with Lost Metal, we'll really be able to talk about the grander
and then we
scheme of things.
And then Sunlit Man, and then it's okay, now.
No. Once you read Sunlit Man, we can talk about the science, more in science stuff.
Okay.
But once you get to Rhythm, once you're done with Rhythm and Lost Metal, then we can really talk about the overall story. Because what you said,
of everything.
That's the
end goal, the fate.
Really gets you right. The fate of all things.
Of everything, yeah.
Right. Like,
well, because Hoyd's
the
doing
implications in those books, it's like, holy shit.
Well, yeah, because I feel we definitely need to do like. Tell us if you
Where
want
is
like.
this all leading?
I think we do need to do a fan cast episode. I think that would be fun.
Oh, that would be really fun.
Especially because like once we're caught up on the Cosmere, like
maybe we can do that once you're caught up and in between
Wind and Truth.
In between Wind and Truth.
We could do that. So I think we should do a fan cast episode, and we should do a Words of Brandon episode, and maybe I can figure something out for the Words of Brandon episode to possibly do the Elden Ring thing.
Oh, that would be so fun. You should get Elden Ring.
We have to figure it out.
So good. Oh my god, it would make you so mad too. This is great.
But any lasting thoughts on Bands of Mourning? Any things you wanted me to talk about Bands of Mourning wise? I'm trying to think. A majority of it was kind of like the adventure, but it was a lot of the kind of big implications for Scadrial kind of going forward. For
Scadrial as a whole, yeah. And the technological advancement of the planet.
Yeah. Because now it's like, okay, so because I guess, technically, because they're getting close to the end of the Industrial Revolution, which means if you want to go United States time frame, or I guess world time frame, the Wright brothers started doing planes post.
Yeah,
or around that time.
As we saw in this book, the Scadrians are already, or the Malwish are already working on planes. You know, their own version of planes.
So of course they're gonna have planes.
But yeah. Yeah, can't wait until you read Lost Metal. Big things in Lost Metal. Big things. That red cloud.
Oh, that does get talked about in.
Maybe.
So Odium.
Rhythm of War next, though. Rhythm of War next.
Well, yeah, because you keep on hyping up the end of Rhythm of War.
You have no idea.
I'm trying, dude.
You think you have an idea? You have no idea. You have no idea the science implications, and you have no idea the story implications. You just don't get it yet. You know?
Oh, there was one fan cast I remember that was actually good for Stormlight. Pennywise for Zeth.
Pennywise for Zeth?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know him as anything other than the big clown.
But what's like a big feature? Like have you seen him outside of Pennywise? You've never seen him without the Pennywise look?
No.
Bill Skarsgård, you haven't seen him?
Oh, well, I didn't even know it was Bill Skarsgård.
Or it's not Bill Skarsgård. Who is it? It's one of the Skarsgårds.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I had no idea. I've never seen him without the Pennywise makeup.
Yeah. He's got big ass eyes.
All right, well, you can show me after this.
He's got big ass eyes.
Okay.
Tell us in the comments what books you want us to read, talk about post the Cosmere, because we're getting close. We've got a couple more episodes. We're going to do some non-book but still Cosmere related podcasts, I think.
But yeah, we need other books. Like I'm currently reading Sword of Kaigen, which I am quite enjoying. It's pretty good. Yeah. So like you want us to talk about that? You want Cullen to read it and then we can talk about it. I mean, we have a list of a shit ton of books.
We do.
I guess we'd just like to know what you guys want to see from us, right? Because we get a comment like, read this book, and then it'll already be on our list, but then we know to read that.
But we know, prioritize
first,
that.
You know,
one.
so
yeah. So let us know. Let us know if we missed anything, because a lot of times when we do this stuff, we miss stuff. We are going to have to for Rhythm of War.
We're going to
take notes.
We're going to take notes.
We're gonna have some notes, because that one.
There's a lot of information in Rhythm of War. There's a lot.
I'm gonna have to have a whole little section for quotes.
Oh, well, once you're finally caught up on Rhythm of War, we could watch those videos that go over all the Easter eggs.
Can we?
Yeah.
What about the other 3 books?
They're focused on the Stormlight books, man.
Yeah, but don't they talk about other things from other?
I mean, they're not going to talk about things from books that came out afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched the videos.
I oughta.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just drop comments. Just do it.
Yep. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.